Welcome to GraphIQ, a multimodal conversational AI platform that revolutionizes how you learn data structures and algorithms. So, as you can see, we're sitting on our main UI page. On the left side, we have our workspace, and on the right side, we have our GraphIQ tutor. I'm going to walk through a use case for this, where I'm going to learn about a binary search tree. So, pretend that I'm a computer science student, very confused, and I'd like to visualize how these things actually work. So first, I'm going to prompt it using voice to text, powered by OpenAI Whisper. And so I want to learn about binary search trees. I'm going to prompt the AI using this, and this is purely conversational. It'll get back to me.
I'll provide you with a comprehensive overview of
For
binary
time's
search
sake,
trees,
I'm just going to mute this.
BSTs.
But it tells me about binary search trees. This is a good starting point for a student, but how can we take this to the next level, right? It's going to ask me if I want to elaborate on any of these aspects or explain a specific operation. But what I want to do is actually just go through a practice problem. So I'm going to ask it, can we do a practice problem? So now what it's going to do is it's going to analyze this input. It's going to think, okay, I need to make a practice problem. And this is where the workspace
Here's a practice problem for in order
play.
traversal of a binary search tree.
As you can imagine, it would talk to me. So yeah, it's created a practice problem using Mermaid.js. It's actually creating this diagram in real time. And this is where things get very interesting. I can actually manipulate this diagram. I can draw on top of the diagram. I can zoom in. I can manipulate it and actually solve the problem that is created. So it's asking me for in-order traversal. And I'm going to do it wrong just to show that it can figure out that I've actually done it wrong. So I'm going to fill in the empty nodes. Let's say that I end up putting like a 15 over here, right? I'm going to submit this image. And now I'm going to ask the AI for feedback. Can I have feedback on my solution? So now it's going to start thinking. It's going to look at the image that I've just given it. And it's
looking at your solution, I notice you've
I'm going to mute that just once again so I can explain. However, it's looking at the solution and it's telling me what I've done correct or what I've done incorrect. And as you can see, this has extreme upside in terms of teaching you data structures and algorithms, which is a very visual learning based class. And yeah, so this works for a multitude of data structures. And just a couple of other features that we added on top of this, like in our feature stack, is we've actually implemented version history. So you can go through other diagrams, you can see what you've done in the past, and you can go back and just reference that. Another thing is you can export your diagrams so you can learn from them. You can export them as SVGs. Of course, you can zoom in and out. And then another cool thing that we've done is we integrated with Gemini to actually analyze the quality of the chat. So our agent is able to understand from Gemini how well it's doing with the user. And as the user learns, it actually gets better. And then on top of this, we've implemented a chat summary. So this is great for students who just want a summary of what they learned so that they can study it later. And just one more thing on top of this is that you can export this as a study guide in PDF form, and this will actually download to your computer. So yeah, that's the UI for GraphIQ. We think that this has huge implications for any type of visual-based learning class or just any class in general. And we hope that you see the potential for this technology. I'm going to take you through our code base. It's starting with our front end. We've used Next.js, and Next.js is very robust in terms of allowing us to do server-side API rendering. So when we're connecting to things like OpenAI Whisper, this makes our response time very fast, and our website loads very quickly for all these things. And here's an example of how we're fetching. So we've created specific endpoints within our front end or within our back end that our front end is able to access very quickly. And I think one thing that's very interesting is how we create our mermaid diagrams. So when we interact with our NLX agent that we've created in our backend over here, our front end actually uses Flask to make an endpoint request and then create the mermaid diagram based off of what NLX prompts Anthropic for. And so this data flow was very complex for us to construct, but the way that we've constructed it allows for a very quick response time. And we have almost 10 API requests happening simultaneously that can be done under 10 to 15 seconds maximum. And so as you can see, the architecture that we've chosen is very focused on making sure that everything runs very fast and smooth. And then on top of that, just choosing Flask backend along with this NLX agentic workflow, and then having our UI in Next.js makes everything very robust. And I think we appreciate it, but we think that our solution is very technically complex, and we're very proud of what we created here.